Credit card debt feels impossible to escape because it's designed that way. Welcome to The Explainer, everyone. Today, we're taking a fascinating and honestly slightly terrifying look into the underworld of consumer debt. We're going to break down the psychology, the cold hard math, and the hidden mechanics of why that little piece of plastic in your wallet wields so much absolute power over your life. To really understand how this trap gets set, let's look at a persona we'll call Alex. Alex is Gen Z, just starting out in the professional world and trying to navigate what is frankly a pretty brutal cost of living crisis. Now, Alex isn't out there racking up debt buying designer clothes or taking spontaneous luxury vacations to the Maldives. Not at all. For Alex, the credit card is just a lifeline. It's a way to bridge that terrifyingly wide gap from one paycheck to the next. These are the actual culprits right here. Groceries, gas, keeping the lights on, paying the rent. We are so conditioned to think that massive debt only comes from wildly irresponsible choices, like buying a solid gold jet ski or something. But the reality is incredibly boring and mundane. It's an extra $50 at the supermarket here, a slightly higher utility bill there, and before Alex even realizes what's happening, that tiny, seemingly harmless gap between income and expenses has quietly morphed into an absolute mountain. Okay, let's dive into this because Alex is absolutely not alone in this struggle. This is a nationwide crisis. As of the first quarter of 2026, total U.S. household debt hit an unbelievable peak of $18.8 trillion. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is an astronomical figure, and it's driven heavily by everyday working families who have just completely exhausted their savings and are leaning on credit just to stay afloat. And you can see the pressure is completely boiling over. When we look at delinquency rates, which is just a fancy term for people falling behind on their payments, credit cards are leading the pack by a mile. They recently hit a 16-year high of 13.1%. When you put that side by side with other essential consumer loans like auto loans or student loans, it highlights the incredibly unique, crushing pressure of credit card debt. I mean, think about it. People will prioritize their car payment because they physically need to get to work. But the credit card bill, that gets pushed to the back burner, and the consequences of doing that are just severe. Part 2. Your brain unplasted. So, researchers actually put people inside fMRI scanners to literally map what happens to their brains at the checkout counter. It's wild. When you hand over physical cash, a region of your brain called the insula lights up. That's your literal pain center. Your brain is essentially screaming, ouch, and acting as a natural brake on your spending. But when you swipe plastic or tap your phone, the insula stays completely dark. Plastic acts as a psychological anesthetic. It entirely bypasses our natural spending brakes because in the moment, you don't actually feel any loss of resources. And this brilliantly illustrates our next invisible enemy, which is called present bias. This is a cognitive tendency where we heavily value immediate rewards but completely downplay distant costs. It's exactly like deciding to mindlessly scroll social media instead of studying for an exam. The immediate dopamine hit just wins out. With credit cards, younger consumers like Alex prioritize the immediate, necessary relief of buying groceries today, while the distant pain of a future credit card statement feels completely abstract, like it's some future version of Alex's problem. Part 3. The minimum payment illusion. Right, let's talk about the actual cost of this debt. 25.2%. That is the average annual percentage rate, or APR, for general-purpose credit cards right now. And for retail store cards, it's often well over 31%. This is not just some tiny, negligible convenience fee we're talking about here. This debt has become shockingly, aggressively expensive for everyday Americans. And here is the horrifying, cold, hard math of how that actually plays out. Let's say Alex runs up a $5,000 balance, again, just on basic essentials. The statement arrives, and it highlights this very friendly-looking, very low minimum payment. It seems totally manageable, right? Well, if Alex pays only that minimum, it will take 23 years to pay off that $5,000. And the interest alone will cost over $7,700. By the time Alex finishes paying off the bread and eggs bought today, they might literally be using that same card to buy anti-aging cream. Minimum payments are brilliantly engineered illusions, entirely designed to keep you paying forever. Now, you might be wondering, does it really cost the banks that much to lend you this money? Is lending just inherently that risky? Absolutely not. According to Federal Reserve data, there is a massive 16.4 percentage point spread between the baseline cost of lending money and the wildly inflated APRs that consumers actually pay. This gap isn't just there to cover the risk of the loan. No, it serves as a massive, systematic profit mechanism for the card issuers. Part 4. hidden fees, and ballooning rates. Okay, so if you're a beginner just entering the credit system, you need to watch out for this next one. One of the most notorious traps out there is the difference between a standard card and a retail deferred interest card. You've definitely seen these. They're pitched to you at the checkout counter of major big box stores or even at the dentist's office. They promise 0% interest for 12 months. Sounds like free money, right? Well, unlike a standard beginner card, these retail options are very often heavily disguised landmines. Let's move to a real example and see how this builds into an absolute nightmare. Say you buy a $2,500 laptop on one of those 12-month deferred interest promos. You're responsible, you make payments all year. By month 11, you've paid off $2,400. You literally only owe $100. But say life happens, things get busy, and you miss that final promotional deadline by just a single day. They don't just charge you interest on the remaining $100. No way. The issuer goes all the way back to day one and retroactively applies a sky-high 24% interest rate to the original $2,500 amount. Boom. You're instantly hit with a massive $400 interest charge, all triggered by being a single dollar short or a single day late. Part 5. The Abyss. Debt Stress Syndrome. We have to remember that this isn't just numbers on a screen or math in a spreadsheet. This is about real people. It leads to what researchers call debt stress syndrome, and the physical toll it takes is immense. We're talking about chronic sleeplessness. We're talking about the brain's threat center, the amygdala, being constantly hijacked into a state of fight or flight. When Alex gets a past due notice in the mail, the brain literally panics. This causes a trauma response called financial avoidance, where people just freeze up and literally stop opening their mail entirely. This chronic scarcity mindset completely drains your cognitive bandwidth. You get so stressed about just surviving today that you literally do not have the brain power left to strategize a way out for tomorrow. And worst of all, it's incredibly isolating. Part 6. Escaping the debt cycle. Okay, enough doom and gloom, let's talk rescue strategies. First up is a mathematically optimal method known as the debt avalanche. The concept is simple but highly effective. You list out all your debts from the highest interest rate down to the lowest. You pay the minimums on everything so you don't default, but you take every single extra dollar you can scrape together and brutally attack the balance with the highest APR. Once that one is completely dead, you roll all that money over to the next highest. Mathematically, this saves you the most money and time overall because you are destroying the most toxically expensive debt first. However, let's be real, sometimes math isn't enough when you're completely emotionally exhausted. Enter the debt snowball method. With this one, you list your debts from the smallest total balance to the largest, and you attack that tiny balance first, completely ignoring the interest rates. So you might ask, why do this if it's not perfectly mathematically optimal? Well, the crucial point is human psychology. Wiping out an entire account, crossing it off the list, gives your brain a massive dopamine hit. That quick win builds the exact momentum and motivation you need to actually stick with the plan and tackle the bigger mountains later on. Escaping the modern debt trap requires understanding both the math that is draining your wallet and the psychology that is actively tricking your brain. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. The next time you go to swipe that card tomorrow, ask yourself, who is your debt really serving? Is it actually buying you a better life? Or is it just funding a system that was perfectly designed to keep you paying forever? Take back your bandwidth, pick your strategy, and start climbing out. Thanks for joining me.